Hey everybody, back again with another episode of Quickfire Marketing. I'm your host, ET Mac. Got a very special guest on today, Katherine Lehman with KT Creativity, Fractional CMO. Very hot topic, very spicy topic that Katherine wanted to bring to the table, so we'll get into it. Why do you think MQLs are dead?
So I have very strong opinions about this. As someone who's been in marketing for over 15 years now, the number one thing that everyone wants out of marketing is leads. Leads, 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 marketing qualified leads, MQL. But as you probably know, everybody's been in that room where marketing is standing up at the table and saying, "Hey, we hit our goal of 8,000 marketing leads this quarter," or "We exceeded our goal by 800%," or whatever these magical numbers are. And then you got the sales team saying, "Cool, we have no pipeline." And then you got finance saying, "Yeah, we're missing our revenue targets by like 50%." So even if you're hitting those magical numbers, this end all be all MQL, um, still doesn't really mean much in terms of a company. So I think it's really time to retire the phrase because MQLs are dead as an indicator of success, especially for a marketing team.
Are you talking about like the traditional, like we're using lead scoring models, or is that extended into, like we have engagement intent data where it kind of tracks everything? Is across the board MQLs are dead
I
in
think
that
it's
sense?
MQLs as a term and as an end all be all metric. So what I've seen a lot of the trends lately is people want demand gen like leaders, which spoiler
Mm-hmm.
alert are always lead gen, or they want more inbound, or they want more thought leadership. But most leaders that are not marketing leaders only see marketing as a lead gen engine. So all they really care about at the end of the day is MQLs.
Yeah,
And that's not really an indicator of marketing success.
at least for the 6 months they care. First 6 months they care about that, and then after a while they're like, hey, to your point, they're like, this
Yeah.
math ain't mathin', right?
We work with a lot of startups. So in startup land, it's we want to focus on numbers that are going to get us to our next funding round or to get us to profitability or to get us attractive enough to find a buyer, right? So if you have to quantify marketing and you don't know how to do that appropriately, the only thing you know how to score them on is MQLs, right? So you have to say, how do you make MQLs?
Yeah. So
But
where should things go then? What's the direction? Because I've been on the sales end that you're talking about where, lead numbers were hit, all this stuff was hitting, and it was just like whatever you're bringing me, and every time I log into Salesforce, whatever these leads you're bringing me, they're MQLs, they're almost as bad as those emails that say, "Hey, send me 5 grand and I'll send you this list of leads
yeah.
relative to your market." So where were you taking things now?
So this is a more call out of the marketing leaders. So knowing that everybody wants leads, how can you shift the focus to something they should actually care about? And the number one thing everybody cares about is revenue, right? Revenue pays the bills, revenue keeps everybody employed and stays off the layoffs, usually. So the marketing leaders have to focus on revenue first. And how can you get revenue? So for the sales team, it's not a hot drop and handoff. Marketing has to get more involved with the full life cycle. You can't just say, "Here's your leads, bye."
Mm-hmm.
You have to jump in and say, "Okay, my leads have to turn into sales accepted pipeline. They have to turn into customers." And then even as an extension of that, all the way down to customer success and support, what is your customer acquisition cost all the way down the pipeline? What is the long-term value of that customer, the lifetime value, the LTV? What is your churn rate? Because if I'm bringing you leads that are garbage, you're converting that garbage and they're not ICP and they churn out in 2 months, was that really worth it? Probably not, right? So you got to kind of put all those metrics together and think about them as the actual revenue that you're generating. You can't just focus on one small piece of the puzzle anymore in your MQL land and say, "I got my MQLs. I'm done. Bye."
100%. And I do feel like revenue goals, especially guys, for people watching this and listening, we're at the end of October right now, heading into November. So this is definitely a time that everyone starts reviewing their metrics. And the
Yep.
conversation for every department is, how does this attach to revenue? Because we're talking budgets for next year, for 2025, right? Let's say people have been doing things the way they've been doing things where, MQL is the focus, but now there's internal marketing happening and it's like, maybe we're rephrasing some of it
Yeah.
as revenue related stuff. What are actual real steps someone could take between now and the end of the year? So, or maybe even to like late January when the sales kickoffs traditionally happen, right?
Yeah. So the biggest gift you can give yourself is to take a step back and look at the customers that are your best customers, your ICP, your ideal customer profile. Who are the people who are staying with you, turning into brand champions, and really getting what you're putting into the customer? Really understand who those people are. Not the people that you think are your ideal customer, but the ones you have right now. If you have some of those, take that data. Who are they? Where did they come from? In marketing, there's always the chase for multi-touch attribution, right? Which,
Hmm.
everybody wants to know all of that. But the changes in buyer behavior in the past few years means that it's not a clear picture, right? You're getting research from over here, you're getting Slack updates from, channels that you're involved with, you're getting your information from everywhere. And the only real data you might be able to collect is your first touch and your last touch. All this stuff in the messy middle might not give you where that is. But if you can find those nuggets of data, you have to pull that in and say, okay, where did these people find us? And use that to refine your marketing strategy and, as an extension, your marketing campaigns. And when I say campaigns, that's one area where we have to rejig our thinking and no longer think of campaigns as like a Google campaign. A campaign is a collection of tactics, all driving up to one goal. And that helps reset kind of the importance on MQLs, because if you have a multi tactic campaign, and that campaign is, I specifically am targeting enterprise customers that are in the apparel industry that have this criteria and this set, and then you're creating a cohort of people that you're going after, and that's your campaign. You then build an event, social, paid media, content all underneath it. And then you're less forced to focus on an individual level of how many clicks did this Google ad get you. It's more of the overall results of that campaign. So you can bucket them all together. So at this point in the year, you should be reviewing the data from what worked and what didn't work for all of 2024, looking on what is reasonable to close before the end of the year, and validating the changes in that strategy and realigning that thinking so that you can hit the ground running in 2025.
Okay, we have 2 months, roughly 2 months, maybe 6 weeks because there's like Thanksgiving and Christmas. How long do I give each thing?
Yeah, you
Hmm.
only have how many weeks between now and the
And
holidays?
the
And
year?
let's be
Yeah.
how much really gets done over the holidays. Yeah, you better have your stuff buttoned up before everybody goes on break, because you're not going to get anybody's attention during that. And if you have too much, or your department of one or a department of two or three or whatever, this is where that AI piece comes in. So marketers are afraid that AI are going to take their jobs. Probably unlikely. We always need someone to build the robots, right? Build it into a robot. Have them do the analysis. That is something they're really good at, right? Put it all in Perplexity or Claude or whatever you use, have them do the analysis on the data and say, where are the top 5 most impactful marketing tactics that you can pull out for next year? And if you have that data going in, that's decent. I'll say decent. Nobody's got a super clean CRM.
Yeah.
You can pull out some really great insights that can help you build up that strategy. So, starting with the messaging, starting with the ICP is always key, because, especially in startup land where I live, those ICPs can change
Hmm.
yearly sometimes. A lot of people like to go up market. They're like, I'm serving SMBs, I'm serving mid market, and I'm ready to go enterprise. Great, let's go. Let's align it to the product roadmap.
Catherine, it's been wonderful talking with you. We'll put all of your socials on our site. And guys, you can find us wherever podcasts are found. And thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.